I'm with Megan Gimple, and you sailed down on the J.122 Alliance, right?
Yes, I did.
And were you just sleeping the whole time?
Yeah, no, I was just down there snack-tishing. No, I'm up on the bow most of the time, so get the old guys a break.
Yeah. Did you have a couple sail changes this?
Just a few.
Yeah.
Lots of kites. Up down, jib. Up down, another jib. So.
Best moment of the race?
You know what? I had a really great time. First time sailing with my dad, so that was really special. We've both done the race, and he's done it, since he was a cadet at the academy, and then doing it and then having it on Father's Day. It was special, so that was pretty cool.
So sweet. So you are also the race star of this Eco Steward thing, which we'll get to in a minute. But doing a little research this morning on who the heck you are. Other than I know,
Google
I
search.
was Googling. I was totally. Anyway,
a little stalking.
I was trying to stalking. Thank you.
Yeah.
Stalking. But I learned something from you today, which was really cool. So you learn something every day.
Okay.
And that other than what you've done with sailing and yada yada, and the sailing with the mud rats and this and that, but you had a little website called Flow Sailing.
Oh,
yeah,
Flow State.
I found you in the Flow State.
You found me in the Flow State.
And sometimes, like when we try to describe this race, well, it's like a sailboat racing in general. That I just in like 1,000 words say.
It's hard to describe.
Yeah, and I read your passage there in that. Of what the Flow State is, and I was like, man, that really nails
it just captures it really well.
It really does, and so I've got to read the book, I guess, at some point.
Yeah, no, you do.
Yeah, I can't pronounce. Can you pronounce the guy's name?
No. Do you think I could pronounce his name?
No, I couldn't tell you. So. All right, so
that's all on my sister.
So pretty cool. Thanks for that. So when and if I ever own a boat, I may just call it Flow State.
Flow State, and let me tell you, we've got a great playlist on Spotify. Flow State. It's my favorite. All the good songs. Gets you in the feels.
Excellent. All right. Well, I'll subscribe to that. So there's, I think if I can scoop ice, the Flow State also applies to Darkn'Story, right?
Oh yeah, you got to keep them flowing.
Excellent. Okay, so before we get to this Eco Steward thing, let's do it's thirsty, and it is 12:15.
I mean, it's later than I started the other day, so.
Right, so we are on schedule. And go.
Amazing. This kind of looks like my legs. Bruised.
All right, the art of the pour, you get it nice and gentle so you get the float.
Oh yeah.
You gotta get the float, right?
Gotta get the float. It's all about the float.
It absolutely is. All right, would that be a Chuck Allen approved flow pour?
You know what? That's more like Category 3 Darkn'Story. He's kind of like a Cat 5, so.
He takes it to the next level, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yes, he does. All right, well, cheers.
Cheers.
Congratulations on graduating from URI,
Thank
Ocean
you.
Engineering, yada yada. So part of ocean engineering, as complex it is, but you are aware of things that are happening in the ocean.
I tend to be, yeah.
Yeah. So this Eco Steward thing, tell us about it.
Yeah, so pretty cool initiative from the race this year is this whole, option of having this Eco Steward, and really it's not a position like bow or tactician or something like that, but really heavy on the prep and preparing for the race and just making sure you have a dedicated person that kind of keeps the awareness up. It's really easy to get carried away with something so big and takes a lot of time to prepare for. So it's nice to have someone dedicated there to be like, all right, let's actually think stuff through, be very conscious. And I think for me, a lot of it is education, and a lot of the people I sail with, they just don't know, and so it's good to be like, hey, there's other options for doing things, and it might even work better for you. So it was really cool to be able to bring that on board.
And what exactly do you guys do?
So yeah, our boat, we did a couple things, and one of them was, of course you got to get the reusable water bottles. That's awesome.
Easy enough.
Easy enough, super easy. Everybody likes it. We had compostable silverware, reusable. We washed our bowls and everything, and all our food for. And this was the big thing for the prep, was our food was all pre-made and then packed in Tupperware or reusable containers, and so we were able to wash those, and they're going to use them for the return as well. One of the other big thing is trash management, because you're making and keeping all the trash on the boat. And we ended the race with, I want to say, about 2.5 bags total which our skipper was pretty impressed because they did the vineyard race last year, and they had doubled the trash for half a race. So we were pretty happy with that. And yeah.
And you have 12. How many do you have on board?
God, I think nine
Okay.
people.
Yeah, so
Yep.
9 people, 2 bags of what are the gallon?
Yeah,
size trash bags?
just
some scale.
the little hefty, like this big.
Gotcha. That's
So,
impressive.
Yeah, pretty impressive. We were all pretty proud of that because it all goes up in the bow, and then we took it out and we were like, wait, we're all not a lot. So
Awesome. So water bottles, bamboo.
yeah, bamboo toothbrushes. That's a big one. Hey, and the good thing is nobody had to saw their toothbrush in half this time because the bamboo's super light.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And was also part of this role documenting stuff you find on the surface?
Yeah, another cool thing we did was, every watch, if you saw any marine debris, we put it down in our ship log and got the location and the time and the date, and we're gonna put that in the tracker later. But yeah, that's something we did for the 2018 race with the Mudrats kids was we documented all the trash we saw. Actually a lot less this year than previous years I've seen, so
That's what I've heard, and maybe that was a little bit of
and
because of the chaos
I
of the
think,
race.
I think the
You weren't
chaos of
looking?
the race, yeah, and has to do with the gyres and how that's set up. And it was interesting. One of the guys on the race, he was like, "Oh, well, I don't understand. Like the trash always seems to be with the seaweed, and like, do they throw the trash and the seaweed out at the same time?" And I was like, "Oh man." Yeah, so that's not how ocean circulation works. And he was trying to, he figured all the trash by Bermuda and near Bermuda on the way to is coming from Bermuda. It's not.
That's gotta be.
And so the thing is, if you go down to some of the beaches, you can't even tell, but half of it's microplastics. It's so small, it looks like sand. And because of their location in the North Atlantic, like ocean gyre, it all just ends up right in Bermuda. So it's pretty important to have that sustainability for a race like this. So.
Could there someday be a microplastic reef off the lighthouse someday?
Oh, maybe someday. Who knows?
Natural waste.
Gotta get the grad degree for that one.
Well, go to grad school. Did you have, there were Eco Stewards across the fleet, right? On
Yeah.
boats. Do you guys at some point then get together and share the data and sort of look at it more globally across the fleet?
Yeah, and I think one of the big things is part of, on the Bermuda website, there's a kind of a best practices, and you have the opportunity to, for whatever you did on your boat, send in like, hey, this is what we did, this was our idea, this is what worked for us. It was fun. Like 11th Hour got in on it and posted stuff about marine mammal like strikes and just like it's like I said, education and having those resources easy, and like you don't have to think of them. Someone's already got like, okay, this is our plan, and maybe you can take it and make it work for your boat. And it's good. Just sharing ideas and getting people aware of what's going on is, I think, super cool. So.
And obviously every time you go out and do something, you just learn something new. Is there anything else after this race that you would add to that list?
You know what? I think something that we didn't quite do this race that I really enjoyed when we did the 2018 race was we had our food prepackaged in a specific type of plastic bag that is actually able to be TerraCycled. Mm-hmm. And so we had each meal in that, rinsed them out, washed them, and was able to TerraCycle those at the end of the race. So there was actually got that recycling concept of that, because I think one of the biggest things is food. That's where a lot of the trash comes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, you guys are on the honeybees are here. That's good. Pollinating the island. They love dark and stormies. This is a long race, obviously, and can what you guys do, or what would be some recommendations for some of the shorter inshore coastal races where you're at? I mean, the people just, it's like that consumption where you just, well, screw it, we'll just take the trash off tomorrow,
Yeah, right. And so I think the cool thing and what I hope to see is, we take some of the aspects of what we got going on for this race and you apply them to all the other ones, and even just going out on your boat for the day. I mean, it's easy to be like, oh, I'll just grab some water bottles. But it's so, like plastic water bottles, it's so easy to also just have your boat stocked up, like set with this, okay, we have water bottles 1 through 10, and when people come on the boat, they know they can use that, or bring your own, or like have those policies and share them with your crew so that, whether it's sailing around the bay or, you know, doing the smaller races, you kind of have that set and it's an expectation.
Yeah. And I will say, you know, if you're not coming home with a stack of cups like this, of these, you're not doing your job, right?
You're not doing your, I mean, look at these, they're cool. But I think the interesting thing about these cups and something I saw, you know, last night opposed to other races I've done is I've seen, you know, other reusable cups at parties and everybody ends up throwing them out.
Right.
And they just end up throwing them out and you're like, okay, so great, now we're just wasting again, you know,
Yeah.
and under the name of sustainability. And what I saw last night, which was awesome, was just, you know, they had places for people, okay, that's where your cups go, and people weren't just throwing them around. And the great thing is, I don't know how many cups they bought, but you know, I heard, you know, they thought they were going to go through them in one night and they were going to be gone. But so many people were actually, you know, coming back with the cup or, you know, putting in those recycling spots, so much so that they washed them and they're still going with them and there's still plenty. And that's really awesome because you think about how many cups fish like us go through.
Yeah,
and it's like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. And it's like, okay, you can be as sustainable on the boat, but you know, part of the race is also after the race. So that's,
it's every day.
It's every day, and it's a super cool initiative, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah, there was an event down at Le Voile de St. Bart's, and actually I think they've taken it up another level. You actually have to pay for the cup. Mm-hmm. And you return it at the end of the night, and they give you your money.
They over doing the Fastnet, they did a similar thing where you walk up, you pay for your cup, and you know, if you want to keep it, and at the end of the night, if you return it, you get your $1 back or whatever. So
yeah. And the bartenders will not fill
nope.
a cup unless you have it. So
nope.
It's
yeah.
brilliant.
And it's super, and it's just honestly just putting that hard stop or that commitment and being like, all right, guys, this is the expectation, and then, you know, if someone leads the way, hopefully we got the rest of the kids following.
Yeah. I think some of there's always been this resistance, in, you know, let's say for your generation of, oh man, I have to pay for a cup.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Come on, man, just get everybody out there free everywhere. But
yeah,
everyone's got to get over that mindset of like, to do your part, you have to chip in and be part of it.
And that's one of the coolest things is, you know, if you make it a cool cup,
you got to keep it.
You got to keep it, right?
And they stay on the boat.
And they stay on the boat. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Oh yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for keeping us all in the eco flow.
Oh yeah.
And you sailing back?
I'm not. I gotta head back. Gotta get the work on.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah. Cheers.
And thank you for doing the good work for all the young bucks that follow you.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks.
Cheers. Good stuff.
Yeah.